Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Taneytown Athletic Association meeting for September 11th, 2024. Before we get started, obviously today is a solemn day. I would like to take a moment of silence, but before we start, please remember those that perished that day. 2,977 people lost their lives. That includes previous Taneytown resident Joanne Hillebridle, who passed away that day. So if you could join me in a moment, please. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to start with association reports. Who would like to be the lucky person who comes up first and gives us our reports? Come on. Okay. And if you could just state your name, who you're with, and just give us the update going on with the league.
I'm Andrew Kuhn, representing FSK Junior Eagle Soccer. Currently, we have 408 total registered players with 34 teams. We're using 7 fields at Roberts Mill Park, 3 fields at Memorial Park, and 2 fields at Northwest. All divisions have started as of this past weekend. Fall fundraisers, we're doing a country meat stick sale due 9/15, no anchovies dine out nights 9/23 and 9/24, and a Chick-fil-A dine out night 10/18. All divisions will conclude by November 3rd, and our end of season banquet is on 9/9.
10-9 or 11-9? When is it? When does it end?
He put 9/9, it's 11/9.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions so far? All right, next. It's painless, I promise.
Okay, I'm Jenny Myers here for lacrosse. We have 2 fall clinics coming up. We're doing 2 free clinics. They are try it, tune-up nights, so new players and existing players. We have one set for October 6th at FSK High School, and the other one December 30th at Carroll Indoor. Our spring registration will open October 1st, and with our season starting in March. We did want to see if we could request some of the trees to be cut back at the practice fields. I know they trimmed up some of the stuff, but we're looking to maybe use the practice field as a game field for next year. So we're seeing if we can have some of the trees cut back there. That's it.
Yes, we'll take care of that. Our Public Works Department is getting a wood chipper. They're very excited about it. So when they get that in, they're going to town. Yes, and that's one of the areas they're going to hit. Yeah.
They'll put it to good use.
Yes, indeed.
Anybody have any questions in regards to that? All right, next. Come on down.
Hi, I'm Tisha Tracy Miller, representing baseball. We have 72 registered for fall baseball, 7 teams, 3 T-ball, 2 8U, 1 10U, and 1 12U. Glad to hear about that chipper, because one of my questions was about the status of the tree removal up on Field 1.
Yes, between Field 1 and the cemetery.
Yeah.
Yeah, they started some of that, and then they're going to be going in when they get the wood chipper to
Okay.
really clear it out. I asked for a couple of trees to be left, just so it's not
Yeah, we were talking
barren.
about that, yeah.
Yeah, but to clean up a lot of that
Yeah,
in
there were a
there.
couple of them that were pretty nice, it sounded like, so,
Yeah.
We are purchasing new bases, so they should be here within the week. And we're just wondering when, if you had any idea when the work on Field 1 was going to happen.
Yeah, that was one of my updates. We met on site with the contractor and Rusty Rill, who Ricky had designated to be his representative that day. Rusty went over everything that is required or will be required for bringing that field back to what it needs to be.
Right.
And then the contractor was going to get everything assembled, get me the price, and then put it on the schedule. Rusty had said that there was no rush, that no one would be playing on that field this fall. Is that correct?
I don't think there's anyone on the field
Okay.
this fall.
Okay.
Of course, with putting the sod down, can't wait too long, of course.
Right,
'Cause
right.
then the grass won't grow.
Exactly, yes, yeah, yeah, we're hoping, I mean, I know it's the next project on the list for the contractor.
Okay.
So, we've got to get out there, as soon as possible while the weather's ideal and
Right.
to make sure everything gets situated there.
Okay.
So that we don't have a lot of brown spots in the spring.
Sure. But
Yeah.
we will have the basis
Okay.
for the contractor when they're ready. so.
All right, awesome,
Okay.
okay, all right, fantastic. Okay.
All right, thank you. 7 teams is good for fall ball. Anybody have any questions thus far? Okay. So then I will throw it out to Lorena to
Yeah.
do
Well,
updates.
Well, I've got.
Oh, that's right, you
yeah.
do have field hockey has an
Yes,
update?
I've got field
Okay.
hockey, and then Stephanie sent the reports for the other
Okay,
organizations. All right,
perfect.
so I'm going to start with field hockey, reported by Nicole Boyer. They have over 90 players and 6 different teams registered this year. This is the highest it's been in years. Their first game was this past Sunday, and they have games through late October and a tournament on Halloween weekend. And they are planning on having food trucks at their home games this year, and they're excited about that and looking forward to a great season. So that is field hockey, and again, they're playing still at Bark Hill since we don't have lighted fields available for them. But that'll be resolved eventually.
Yes, it will.
Football, there are 144 players in 8 teams. They are now playing under CCYFCL, and each age is its own team. Cheer, they have 60 registered for sideline. They're cheering for football and have 2 competitions in November and December. Winter cheer has 40 signed up. And she said that they really need the new building because they grew the squads thinking that they would have the space to practice. Softball, they have 80 athletes signed up and games have already started.
Okay.
That covers it then for everybody.
Any questions for Lorena? Okay. All right, sorry to do it to you. Back at you.
All right, back at it. So old business, the update on the Memorial Park expansion project. That's the one that everybody wants to know about. And we have hit a road bump with State Highway for that connector road. They came back with some additional requirements. We thought we were in the clear, but apparently State Highway, for their site plan review, they hire consulting firms. And the consulting firm that reviewed it when we first submitted it said, yeah, if you put in a sidewalk between St. Joseph's and the connector road, you're good to go. A couple of other things which we fulfilled. And then they changed consulting companies. And then the new consulting company review engineers came in and gave us a 3-page comment letter with things that they wanted to see on the site plans. Mostly about drainage requirements and such. So the engineer is going to be working through all of that with State Highway in order to obtain their approval so that we can move forward on that. We also had to tweak the landscape plan a little bit for the County Forest Conservation Bureau. And as soon as we get those 2 approvals, then we can convey the easement deeds to the county for forest conservation and floodplain. And then we can get an RFP released finally and get that contract awarded. So I'm not sure about an exact timeline because it's really just hinging on State Highway. And we all know how the state moves. But I'm hoping to get that contract awarded by the end of the year so we can get work started as soon as possible. And, if we have a mild winter, then we can go ahead, at least get the grading done, get those fields laid out, and then we can get some infrastructure in. And Morton Building is they're almost ready. They'll be ready whenever we're ready to get that building up. So, and it's not gonna take them long. And that's the update that I have on the Memorial Park expansion project. Not really good news, but at least it's not a definite no. We thought about the option of just dropping that connector road and trying to do something else, but we just need that connector road for traffic control and expedient emergency vehicle access to those fields.
I
So,
agree with that.
yeah, we've got to get that in there.
Okay.
Any questions on that project?
So once the contract is awarded, do you know what the expected completion time is from start of project?
We can put, in our RFPs, we can put that stipulation in that the project has to be completed within a certain number of days. For a big project like this, I mean, I'd have to check with the engineer on what a realistic time frame would be. And then if the weather cooperates, of course, we could get it finished as quickly as possible. The big delay, I think, is between starting the job and those fields being playable is the natural sod, the grass. Getting that established and making sure that's good to go before they start getting used. So we'll just have to play it by ear, but we shall see. I know the field need is so high, the pressure is so high, trying to find fields to play everywhere. I know you guys in soccer are growing.
Well, our concern at this point is, Field 4 has been an ongoing issue for many
Yes.
seasons. And, we shifted, but we can only shift that field so far.
Right.
While still including additional fields for the younger groups, because that number is growing exponentially.
Right, exactly. All the programs are growing, but yeah, and you guys are a little tricky because your spring and fall seasons, are extended so that, by the time you finish in late spring, early summer, we try to get out there and do aeration, fertilization, and seeding, but then, like this past summer, it was almost a waste because we had such a hot, dry summer that
Yeah, I mean,
nothing
honestly,
germinated. Yeah.
The only way to correct it at this point is sod.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I feel like we're just kind of spinning our wheels there with trying to get the timing just right, to get something to germinate out there.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, now's the time to do it.
Right, but you guys are already starting on it, so, and they won't get a break until, I mean, it's not like you guys can take a break from a particular field for the season because you need every inch of space you can get. So.
We can't hold games anywhere else but there.
Right, exactly. So it's a very tricky situation to try to get, things done like that. So, but we'll see, when you guys end your season in November, we'll see what the weather's like and see what we can do. See if we can do anything, especially with those spots that are really bad, because there are some bad spots out there, yeah. So we'll do the best we can.
Okay. So update on various construction improvement projects in the parks?
Yes. The only one that really affects the athletic organizations is the THS park lighting installation for softball and soccer. That is complete. I'm meeting with Curtis with Fern Rodkey tonight after the meetings out there to check the light levels, make sure there's not light trespass into the neighboring residents. Right now, we have our own lock on that light box, but we're going to get Southpaw to put a combination lock on that, so that way, they have access to it without needing, copies of our keys. And then those lights should probably be turned off by 9:30, just in consideration of the neighbors. Yeah, so.
Okay. And then update on fiscal year 2024 pre-approved assistance requests and projects.
Right, so baseball, as we talked about, Field 1 work, that's been delayed. Still waiting for the contractor, but this is the next project on his list. So we'll get that done and get that field back up to a tip-top condition. And then softball, we still have the snack shack window replacement and structure ceiling on the list, and that's gonna be done this fall as well. So that's what I've got left for 2024.
Okay. And then, oh boy, already thinking. Update on fiscal year 2025 assistance requests and projects.
Right. So the fiscal year just kicked off July 1st. For soccer, we've got those additional lights on that one pole for Field 6, I believe, that was for, as repositioned. Those are installed. I'm going to be checking those again tonight as well. I know Kyle's already checked them just to make sure, they came on with the other controls. And the exterior shed lights have been retrofitted, so those should be looking good. Softball, field dirt and field drag, pending input from softball on that. So we should get those squared away hopefully soon. And then football, we did put in some additional bleachers. Those are installed on concrete pads and ready to go. The paint line sprayer that they requested, Public Works had purchased a new one, and then the old one that they have was still in decent shape, so we just donated it to them. They were fine with that, so that's already been put in the field house, and they can use that as they need it. And then the practice field lighting LED light retrofit is pending receipt of the light fixtures, and we're getting a Potomac Edison rebate on that. So changing out those old HID bulbs to LEDs. And then lacrosse, in the process of ordering those materials. Once everything's been received, then we'll put everything in the storage shed at THS Park. So, and then I think we'll be squared away, except for things that come up that aren't planned for, as they always do.
Does anybody have any questions thus far?
Was there anything in that for lighting for baseball, field 4 and 5?
With the expenditure that we're gonna be putting out on Field 1, I don't have it in the budget. I had put it in there originally, but based on the ballpark, pun intended, figure that the contractor gave me, I'm not gonna have it in, so I'm gonna have to shift those. Yeah.
Okay. And then new business, I mean, we already talked about, is there more with the locks to?
Right, so facilities management, yeah, locks. So in the past, we've supplied locks with a standard key, and that seems to have worked well, but sometimes, the keys have gotten lost and this, that, and the other, and locks have been cut off. So I think going forward, we're going to ask that if you want a gate or a building or something locked, that you get a combination lock and set your code, and then just give us that code in case we need to ever access it. You guys have more ownership really of the facilities because you use them more. We get in there for maintenance, or if something's wrong, to repair it or what have you. So that goes, for fields, buildings, light boxes, things like that. And then if there is ever an emergency, if you guys need to, if you have board changes or what have you, and you need to, get a new lock, then again, we just ask that you just give us the combination for it in case there's an emergency and we need to access. That's all I have for that.
Okay. And then fiscal year 2026 budget, assistance requests, and financial statements.
Right, so it's already time, believe it or not.
Yes, it is.
Already time to start thinking about next fiscal year's request. So if y'all could, and I'll be sending out an email to everybody as well on this, if you could start just making up your list, compile your list, just if you want to put, the lighting situation for 4 and 5 on there, and get those to me by the beginning of November, then I can start getting estimates and putting things together, because I start preparing the budget actually in December, and I have to submit it by the end of January. So, believe it or not, yeah. And then financial statements, I'll be sending out an email about the same time that we go for the memorandums of understanding renewals to get those financial statements from you guys as well. And then we have compiled, for the last, I think it's 4 fiscal years, requests versus actual expenditures. So I'm going to be sharing those with you all, emailing those out to you for each organization. So you can see, I went back to fiscal year '21. So what you had submitted for requests, and then what was fulfilled and spent. And that's also going to include not just like, new lighting or what have you, materials, but also like, scoreboard broken from whatever, and repaired, just so that you can see, what the actual expenditures were. So I think it'll be illuminating and it'll be helpful to see. I know you guys work hard, you're volunteers, you hold fundraisers, you do the best you can and still try to keep registration low. And that's not an easy task to try to juggle everything. So we try to help you out as much as we can in consideration of things that we need to do as well. So
Okay.
that's what I've got on that.
Does anybody have any questions? And if you do, if you want to come up and ask questions? Are you good?
I got
mean,
one.
Yeah, go ahead.
So as far as like any of the stuff that's like falling short of the budget, like you were saying about like the field 4 or 5 lighting and stuff like that, is any of that stuff that can be like helped with the self-help project from the county?
It can. The organization would have to apply for the grant. And I'm more than happy to help with the application. I know I've helped soccer with a couple of applications before.
Just wondering if
Yeah.
like people that are new to these roles, if they know about it, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like, I know Ricky knows about it in baseball because we used to do it together back when I was part of baseball, but, yeah, it comes out twice a year, sometime around this time of the year, and then again in the spring.
Right.
And like like depending on how many people put in from the same organization, it's a pretty substantial amount of money that gets allocated. It's like $20,000 or $25,000.
Right.
So, like, it's something that everybody who's like a leader of these organizations should be putting in for whatever they can through the county, because that's just additional funding on top of whatever the town can do. I think it's the fall one.
September,
Is the first one.
yeah, September and February. And one of them, is it September or February that has the majority of the funding
I think
allocated?
it's the first one because it's the new fiscal year.
Okay,
So anything
yeah.
that's left over.
In
they'll do
February,
in
they'll
February.
allocate.
Yeah.
Right.
But a lot of times it's dried up by then.
Yeah, yeah, so September. That's a good point. And when I send out the requested versus actual, I'll put a reminder in about that. Again, with an offer to help with the application process.
And I'm pretty sure that can go through, like, through TAA and then also West Carroll. So each rec, association can put in. Some of the groups that are kind of part of both can go through one, and the other ones can go through the other one to help like split the money, because it's, like I said, it's going to be that 20 or 25,000 for each like rec council. So
Yeah, that would definitely help.
Thanks, Jerry. Good point. Yeah, definitely take advantage of that for sure. All right. No additional comments from the group? None? Okay. So with that, so the next meeting date is scheduled for November 13th, 6:30, right here.
Right.
And again, try to have a representative. If not, for some reason you can't and things are crazy, just make sure you try to give Lorena an update on the league and what's going on.
And also for the fundraisers, I try to scan your pages, and if I see something posted, then I try to share it onto the Parks and Rec page, just to try to help get more word out, The more it's posted, then the more the Facebook algorithms will pick it up, you know, and people will see. So, whatever I can do, you know, to get the word out there to help with those, let me know.
Thank you for doing that too, Lorena. All right, so if nobody has anything else then, and you guys are good to go, then we'll see you on November 13th at 6:30 right here.
Thank you.
So thank you for coming. Have a great evening. Thank you. All right. Here we go again. Welcome to our Parks and Recreation Advisory Board meeting for September 11th. Please note that the only person that's absent is Mr. Harvey. All other members are here. Did everybody get their minutes? And that would be minutes from August 16th. No, yeah, August 16th, August 14th, sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, August.
Did everybody get those minutes? Yep. Everybody get a chance to review? So with those, I'll take a motion to approve.
Move to approve the minutes as presented.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right. Do we have any further discussion on said minutes? Okay, with all that, all in favor of accepting the minutes, please signify by stating aye. Aye. Okay. All right. So I don't want to put too much stress on your voice, Lorena. That's okay. Because we've already pretty much, as far as the expansion project, we did discuss that with the Athletic Association. So we can jump on general park improvements?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Are you
Okay,
good with that? Okay.
great. I stated the THS Park field lighting, that's complete, so I'll be submitting for that grant funding reimbursement shortly. As soon as I get the final invoice from Rodkey and get that paid, have the copy of the check to submit with the grant reimbursement. The Memorial Park tot lot, that construction is moving along. They're moving fast. The main components and the footers are in. The rubber surfacing is going to be installed within the next couple of weeks. So hope to submit for that grant reimbursement as well by mid-October.
Okay.
Hoping that that should be finished by then. So, and here's just a side note, the rubber surfacing, when that gets poured, has to cure for at least 24 hours, much like concrete. So we're gonna have a guard posted overnight.
Okay.
Just to make sure we don't have any, you know, footprints or anything like that, so.
Run people off the
Everyone
park.
beware, it will be guarded.
Okay.
But that should look really nice. The only thing is that what was there was taking more space than what is going to be there now. In other words, what's going to be there is going to look smaller than what was there before. And that's only because things are more expensive now. So, you know, we put in what we could afford, even with the grant funding. I think that the components will still be valuable and well used. And the new expression swing there, I think will be well received. So. And the important thing is that we will have that safety surfacing, which is important for toddlers. And overall, I think it'll be an improvement on what was there,
It'll be
certainly
exciting.
safety-wise.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It'll be exciting to
Yeah.
see it.
And just to let you all know, new signs are going to be going up in all of our parks regarding no unauthorized off-road vehicles allowed on park property. So those will be placed adjacent or on the existing rules signs.
Okay.
So that way our officers will have recourse to address, you know, residents' golf carts or ATVs or whatever. Yeah.
I know it's already at Bollinger, right? That was
Yes.
already part of
That
that.
was already, yes, to
Okay.
protect that trail.
Okay.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
And then chess checker tables are being installed at Memorial Park under the trees between the large red and blue playground and the middle road, and at Roberts Mill Park under the trees by the playground. I've given you all a picture of that. Those were requested, and we had discussed it 2 or 3 years ago. And they just were kind of out of our price range for a long while, and then the pricing came down, so went ahead, got those, and those will be installed. Obviously, we cannot supply the checker or chess pieces, so people who want to use these and play, they'll have to bring their own, and I hope that they are used. 'Cause
That's a
they're
cute set.
pretty nice,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's really
They're,
nice.
we've got them at a local park where I live, and they are used. They've put in like 4 or 5 of them, and
Oh,
they're
wow.
used, yeah.
That's
They
awesome.
look really nice, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Good addition.
yeah. Otherwise, I think we're all caught up and things are looking pretty good, knock on wood. They stay that way.
Rolling along.
Right, yeah.
Does anybody have any questions before we jump to events? All right. We're on the home stretch.
Yeah.
of
We
2024
are.
events.
Still got a lot going on though.
I know, there is a
Yeah.
lot going on.
So the summer programs have all wrapped up except for the adult tennis clinics. They'll be finishing on September 24th. The Reading in the Parks contest ended August 17th. First prize went to Catherine Andrews Hayes, second place to Jamie Perry, and third place to Haley Stewart. So congratulations to these winners. They all got prize bags filled with goodies, including gift cards from local businesses that were donated. So we appreciate that from our local businesses as well. We are holding a yoga in the park fall session, just one session only, on Sunday, September 22nd, from 10 to 11 at Memorial Park. So that'll be nice, cooler as well. And then Harvest Festival is coming up Saturday, September 28th, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Memorial Park. We have 25 craft vendors and other vendors. We have lots of food vendors, 5 entree food vendors, 1 pretzel vendors, 2 dessert vendors, and 2 beverage vendors. So,
Wow.
yeah, we've got It's All
That's
Good.
a ton.
We've got It's All Good, Tasty Empanadas, which is a new one, so,
Oh, good.
yeah, interesting on that one. The Hot Dog Shack, Tasties not to be confused with Tasty Empanadas.
Yeah.
Tycho Seafood and Barbecue, Nicole's Pretzels, Kona Ice, The Cow, and Lisa Lou's Lemonades, which is another new vendor, and Travelin' Tom's Coffees. So we should be well covered on the food front. Midnight Run is going to be our band this year. And of course, we'll have the pony rides, petting zoo, face painting, hay rides, straw maze, bounce house, and games. So,
Wow.
fun day out
Big-
for everybody.
big
And it's
event
all
day.
free, except for the food purchases, and craft vendor purchases. Birds and Bourbon at Bollinger on the next day, Sunday, September 29th, from 3 to 5:30 at Bollinger Park. So far, we've only sold 4 tickets out of the 15 spots. So I'm hoping that that picks up as we get closer. We've got 2.5 weeks to go before that. Trying to push the publicity without a printed publication in circulation. It's hard. Emmitsburg News Journal did run a little blurb on it. It gave them a
Okay.
press release, so they published that for us. So appreciate that. Hopefully, that'll help get the word out. That hit mailboxes at the beginning of the month. Oh, and we also put an ad in there for Harvest Fest to let people know, that
Right.
that's going on, people who aren't on social media.
We just have basically that and Facebook
Right.
pushing.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, at this point, until we get situated with a
something.
publication, yeah.
Okay.
The photography contest is underway. We're already receiving submissions, some really good ones so far. We always get some really phenomenal pictures. Once those are all in after the November 1st deadline, I'm going to email all of those to you all for judging, and then we'll award the prizes, announce the winners for that.
Sounds good.
New this year, the Halloween decorating contest, which is going to be run pretty much just like the holiday decorating contest, October 1st through the 31st. And that's, all those addresses going to be submitted to us, and then we'll just kind of divide and conquer, go around, take pictures if y'all are willing to do that, and then send them to me, and I'll compile all the pictures, and then you'll judge, and then we'll award the prizes for the winners, yeah. The Partnership for a Healthier Carroll County is holding a walk in the park at Bollinger on Thursday, October 24th at 10 a.m. We're excited. They've added us to their roster because they do these walks in the park at various parks in Carroll County. And thank you, Kelly, for connecting us with them for Bollinger Park. I think it'll be nice to have that countywide.
Yeah, that'll be a great
Yeah.
addition to do that with Bollinger. Yep.
Yes. Tales of Taneytown, Saturday, October 26th, from 3 to 5 at Memorial Park. And just like in previous years, the Chamber of Commerce is going to be running their trunk or treat at the same time, same place. So we're looking forward to a fun day for that. And our Christmas tree lighting is Saturday, December 7th at Memorial Park, starting at 4:30 with the candy cane hunt. That's going to be structured differently based on our post-event discussion last year. We're going to be staggering that per age group so that the little ones, the younger kids, have a chance to find some candy canes before the bigger ones swoop in. And we are not announcing the color of the special candy canes until we're ready to say go, so that we don't have prize-winning candy cane poaching before the event starts. Yeah. And, we got the wooden train set from Carroll County Realtors Association.
Yes, I noticed it was gone.
Yes.
And I was hoping,
Yes, thank you for all your legwork on that. It does require a little bit of touch-up.
they would, when I spoke to the folks down there,
Yeah,
they advised that they were gonna be doing some repair work.
yeah.
So I figured
Yeah, they
they
did.
didn't get to it.
No. Yeah, which is, it's okay. Our guys, they got the skill set to handle that. So hopefully, they'll get a chance to get that fixed up and installed at Memorial Park, and in time for us to decorate it for Christmas.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
That'll be nice. So we decided to put it, where the middle road goes down and the park name sign is there and everything. And then we have those 4 Bradford pear trees that we're gonna be taking down because they're up in the power lines and they're a mess. When they go out, we'll be putting the train set there. So it'll be kind of neat,
be
to see
nice.
that there. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you very much for all of your legwork on that.
Well,
Getting our foot in the door.
Little bit of legwork, and I was hoping a little bit of friendly persuasion.
There you go. Yeah. Exactly. So good job on that. We've got it. And I think it'll be a nice addition there. It'll be cute. And then the last one is our holiday decorating contest, December 1st through the 30th, and same setup as last year. They'll submit the addresses by the deadline, and then hopefully we can divide and conquer, take pictures, submit them to me, I'll compile them, we vote, and award the prizes. So,
Yeah, that's better than
Yeah.
trying to,
yeah.
see 30 or 40
Yes,
or
right.
50.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's all I have on events.
A lot of events still happening.
Yes.
And that's it until spring.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions in regards to? All right, did you have any miscellaneous updates, Lorena? or-
Yes, I don't know if y'all have been made aware of this or have seen it, but the fountain at Roberts Mill Park is on the fritz again. It stopped working a couple of weeks ago. We got on the schedule for Fern Rodkey to come out and check it out because we thought that it was something, components in the control panel. But for both Fern Rodkey and Gettle, have checked everything on our end. Control panel and all the power source, everything that goes up to the connection at the edge of the pond is fine on that side. So it's got to be something out at the fountain again.
Oh, boy.
Yes, and this has been a recurring problem because, like, plastic bags get into the pond and then eventually circulate and get sucked up, and then, they just get trapped there on the mesh, and then it burns the motor out, or what have you. So, So we've called Lake Source, and they're getting us on the schedule to come out and take a look at it. I mean, that's the best that we could do. And then on top of that, the separate aerator that just runs in bubbles and aerates, the compressor kind of kicked off for that, so we had to order a rebuild kit with various parts. Luckily, John Welty with our Public Works Department is very handy, and he's rebuilt it before. So he's kind of gotten it to limp along for a number of years. And once we get that rebuild kit, situated, then he can get it hopefully up and running again. And so things are a little murky out there right now, long story short, without the
Yeah.
circulation
Yeah.
and the aeration.
It does make a big difference.
It does, a huge difference. Yeah, you can see it and smell it. It's bad.
But the non-maintenance fountain.
Right, the non-maintenance fountain that they sold us on. No, you never need maintenance on this. It's great.
Well,
Oh,
it
well.
happens.
Yeah. And then, as requested, as we talked about previously, I went back through all of our financial records and compiled the TAA request versus actual expenditures as referenced in the TAA meeting. And also the costs of vandalism that we've experienced over the past few years. And interestingly enough, the amounts on the TAA expenditures were way higher than I had anticipated. And the cost for the vandalism repairs was way lower than I thought it would be. So it is interesting, yeah. Yeah. Well, in a good way. I'm glad that, the cost to repair vandalism isn't that high.
Yeah,
Hope that continues, but
but I mean, still, that's money we could be using somewhere else, right?
yes, indeed, yeah.
Like the fountain.
Right, yeah, seriously.
Okay.
Well, it's bad when now I've just started budgeting fountain maintenance
Yeah,
into,
exactly.
the expenditures.
Well, I appreciate you doing that hard work, because I know it was a lot of hard work. A lot of data, a lot of trying to figure it out.
Right.
But yeah, the TAA stuff's pretty eye-opening. So,
It is, yes.
does anybody have any questions on those? And you said are you taking the years with the specific leagues and sending
Yes.
that? Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, I think what I'm gonna do is, instead of 4 spreadsheets for each fiscal year with all of the organizations listed,
right.
I'm just gonna do one organization with each
With the
fiscal
fiscal
year.
year.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, exactly, on the same sheet,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, since we just finished on 24, so Lorena's already, look at this,
Yeah.
proposed her full event schedule for 2025, so.
Right. A lot of these, or well, not a lot, some of them still have TBD on them for the dates. Like movies in the park, we're not sure yet.
Sure.
Because, that's a partnered event. We
Yeah.
work with Taneytown Men of Faith and Carroll Arts Council on that, so they usually set those dates. What do you think? I mean, I think we've got a pretty full roster of events. I think it's pretty robust. Do y'all have any comments or suggestions or anything? The only thing that's a variable really on this is the Independence Day celebration next year. It's gonna depend on
Happening at the park.
Memorial Park expansion area, right?
Okay.
Because obviously, we do not want to jeopardize any of that investment back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, these athletic organizations, waited a long time for these additional fields and the building, and I don't think that we should risk setting off, a ton of fireworks that could potentially damage the fields and/or building. Plus, insurance is not gonna cover that if we
Right,
willingly set
exactly,
off
right.
fireworks and we incur damage from them. So the situation is with that, though, is that we're gonna need to decide on that by the end of this year.
Okay.
Because we have to book the fireworks
Yes.
company by January if we wanna do it. because all the fireworks companies book up fast.
So where are options to set up if they don't set up where they are?
We really don't have any. The only open land that we have without a lot of residential structures around it is Festival Park on Stumptown Road. But there's no parking.
Correct.
There's
no
no
really good
viable
access,
way
yeah.
for traffic flow, for traffic control out there. I can't
there's no.
I can't
The
see
parking,
an
yeah, it's
area.
unsafe out there right now, I think.
Yeah, well, the way Stumptown
The way it
that
is right
there's a
now.
dog leg corner
Yeah.
that would be pretty bad.
So the area up like on the carnival grounds isn't like big enough to do it?
On the carnival grounds itself,
Hmm.
it's too close to residential properties. And I mean, we'd have to get permission from the fire department. Plus, we've got a lot of other structures around there as well. Cemetery is not a concern. I mean, obviously, those residents aren't going to be concerned about firework fallout. But yeah, you've got the fire department buildings there. You've got some houses along Memorial Drive there.
Yeah, they needed a huge area.
Public
Yeah.
Works equipment shed, and yeah, it's a pretty big perimeter, safety perimeter that they need for the fallout.
Like back behind like field 4, like we talked about, where the eventual baseball fields are gonna go.
Right. We thought about that. The expansion part would still be in the fallout zone. If we did it back behind 4 and 5, like where all the storage material piles are or whatever, in that sea container, we'd need permission from Curaleaf. I don't know if their building would be in that safety perimeter. I don't know.
Just out of curiosity, do you know what the price difference would be between traditional fireworks and like a drone show?
Ooh, a drone show.
Yeah, because I know a lot of places are doing that. I know the Orioles Stadium, actually the Baltimore Ravens just did something for the first game of the season through a different vendor. And I know a lot of places are moving to that, but I'm sure it's
Right.
maybe a little more expensive, but I feel
Yeah,
like
it
that might be
probably
safer
is.
just for like
Career
there's a lot
right
more
now.
places you can do that since there's not really like
Right.
fire safety. but
Exactly.
Just
Yeah.
a thought to look into.
That's a fantastic idea. I like that because, yeah, the only space that's needed is just for the drone controllers, to launch and land.
Then we could get like a flyover.
Right.
That'd be
Yeah,
like a cool
exactly.
live stream option too.
Right, yeah,
There you
really.
go.
I'm gonna check into that. Yeah. Bless you. You okay? Do you need some water?
No, I'm good.
Okay, all right.
Like an air show.
Yeah.
With a pay-per-view option.
Oh
That's
my
what I said.
gosh.
Yeah.
They had it on
Let's do
America's
that.
Got Talent like a few weeks ago when I actually watched it. So if you want to see what it actually looks like, great
Okay.
opportunity.
All right. Check into
It's something to look into, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Why not? All right, does anybody have any questions on the proposed 2025 event schedule? It's a lot. Just when you take a break, then it's time to do it all over again.
Right.
So,
Well, the good thing is that, I mean, it is a lot, but the
Yeah.
good thing is like our big vendor events like the Wine, Art and Music Festival and Harvest Festival, we're not doing vendor setup assistance
Correct.
anymore. So that takes a huge burden off of us.
huge
Yes.
in our sanity level, right, Jerry?
Right.
Sorry.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Well, no, you helped too, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we've all, yeah, for our sanity, yes, so that does help too, so that's good.
Yes.
Okay, so with that, did Judy leave any report from mayor and council, or?
No, I
she
don't-
was-
yeah.
Everything was good, okay.
Yep.
I'll just go down Jerry, do you have anything to add, or
No.
you good? Mackenzie?
Nope.
We're good? Okay. So our next meeting date is scheduled for October 16th. Am I correct in that, Lorena? October 16th?
Right. Yeah, I believe so.
I think it is. I think I had it right. 16th.
Yes, yeah.
October 16th, and that will start at 6:30 right here. So with that, if nobody has anything additional, I will take a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn the meeting.
All right, second?
Second.
All right, so with that, all in favor of adjournment, please signify by saying aye. 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 All right, we'll see everybody October 16th. Thank you.
I cannot make that date, just to let you know in advance.